What's good, my Division community? Welcome back to another Tom Clancy Division 2 build video, and today we're here to talk about a unique gear set that doesn't really get as much love as much as it should, and we're here to talk about another unique weapon that y'all already know because we've been adding this to the Eagle Bearer series, and I just said it. We're here to talk about the EB meshed up with Negotiators Dilemma. Now, I know people done made a bunch of negotiator builds before, but trust me, you ain't never seen one like this. And for the ones that's returning to this channel, y'all already know what I'm here to talk about. We're here to talk about some health. So if you're new, leave a like. If you're a returning person, leave a comment. If you're a hater, man, you already know my slogan. I'll catch you when I catch you. Again, y'all already know how we do this. We're gonna bounce back with another health, but this time negotiators is a part of the play. So let's get into it right now. As you see, guys, bam, 1.5 million armor, 846.1k. Actually, we could actually drop the armor because we're gonna go with 1.3. I always go back and forth in between, but I like the 1.3. So let's get it again. 1.3, still got the same health. As you know, this is a health build like how I said, and it's unique. So let's get into it. Now, let's talk about the specialization. If you don't know, the firewall specialization is the best one, at least for this build. It's mainly because with this specialization, you get a kit that you actually, when you pop, you basically get health and armor back for 10 seconds, which is crazy strong, and it doesn't matter where it is in PvE, PvP, this is the best specialization. But not only that, guys, the reason why we went with this is because this also gives you health on kill. You see, it is a health build. It's not as high health as I normally would run, but again, trust me, this build just synergizes perfectly. I've actually completed 4 legendaries with this build. You will see the clips in the background, but this joint made me a believer. But I don't want to get off topic. Another thing what this joint has is when your armor breaks, you get to put other NPCs on fire, and when it gets to those clutch moments. So when you up close, if an NPC breaks your armor, you get to put like 3 or 4 NPCs on fire, which gives you the moments to actually get back into the fight, get a little health on kill, and bounce back. Now, I know a lot of people always talk about to use the minigun specialization. This is not a bad specialization, but for health, it's like, you know, it really doesn't give you no health on kill. But this specialization does give you some armor on kill, and it also gives you some rate of fire perks as well. But again, it doesn't give you no health on kill, and also the kit for this specialization, it gives you back bonus armor. But if you found to play with this specialization with this build, you can let me know in the comments. Hey, maybe you made something different that I didn't, but we're mainly going for the firewall specialization. Next, let's talk about these modifiers. I know a lot of y'all don't like these modifiers, but anything that makes my build get an extra if, I'm gonna rock with it. So we ain't gonna spend too much on this. The reason why we're using the modifier actually because we want to get the extra damage. So where we see passive recruit bonuses, if you basically go to all the safe houses and you get 10 assault recruits, 10 meta recruits, 10 engineer recruits, you basically get free weapon damage, free hazard protection, and skill efficiency. But if you do not have a companion by your side, you get double that. So basically we're getting free 30% weapon damage, we're getting a free 40% hazard protection, and then we're getting a free skill efficiency, which is actually 30% skill efficiency for free. You can't go wrong with that. So if you have a companion, you're basically going to get 15, and you're also going to get 20 hazard protection. But if you don't like the companion, which I know a lot of y'all don't, just make sure you go to the safe houses and get all that, and then deactivate them, and you will get this extra buffs on your build, which I don't feel like, why would you complain? Who doesn't love 30% free damage on any build, right? Next, we're here to talk about the Ninja Bike Messenger Backpack. I'm gonna break this down very simple because then basically explaining everything else will be very easy. So see, we got an armor core, a weapon damage core, a skill tier for some skill efficiency as you see, and then we got a crit chance mod in here. Basically how the Ninja Bike Backpack works is if you have this backpack on, you see I have a Guild Guard mask right here because we're going to talk about this right now. If I slap on 1 piece of Guild Guard, I get the 2 piece, and that's why we have 5% total armor and 60% health, and then we have all reds as you see. But that's how the Ninja Bike works. The same thing goes with the Palisades. We threw on 1 piece of Palisades, but we got the 2 piece, so then we got the 60% health, and then we got 10% armor on kill. That's basically how the Ninja Bike Backpack works. And now that we're here, I don't know why I have Unbreakable here, sorry, but we're going to go with Obliterate. You want to go with Obliterate because you want to get as much damage. And then you see the gear set, we're going to get into that, but you want to have as high crit chance. If you have decent crit chance, this gear set is going to play, but you need to have high crit chance. And then basically Obliterate. Critical hits increase total weapon damage by 1% for 10 seconds, stacks up 20 times. That's why I'm saying you want to have a high crit chance. And we got crit damage, critical hit chance, and crit hit damage right there for the mod, as you see. Now let's talk about negotiators, because this is going to make sense on why you want to have a high crit chance. So you see we have a negotiators holster, same thing. We got 3 negotiators, so that's why we got the 4-piece. Remember, that's how the ninja bike backpack works. So we got the 4-piece. Bam, that is a lot of critical hit chance you're just getting for just putting on the 2-piece. Then we got the 3-piece on. We're getting 20% critical hit damage, guys. Come on, bro. Like, we will go into the stats soon, but look, we still got more. Then we got the 4-piece, basically negotiator. This is what it basically does. Critical hits mark enemies for 20 seconds up to 3 marks. That's why I'm saying you got to get high crit chance. When you critically hit a marked enemy, all other marked enemies take 60% damage dealt. Whenever a marked enemy dies, you basically gain 2% critical hit damage, stacking up to 20 times up to the combat ends. That's basically 40% critical hit damage. You feel me? Yo, you're basically going a berserk crazy damage. Like, that's why I'm trying to tell y'all, you have to have high critical hit chance for this to work. Because every time you shoot, you want to crit. And remember, you can only mark something when you crit. So if you have 60% crit chance, basically like 57, 58, that is okay to be in, because obviously you don't want to put more crit chance in it. You're going to be overkilling your crit chance when you could substitute the build to get more out of your build. And then that's why we have health here, for example, because we want to get as much health as we can. Again, same thing for the knee pads, health as well. And then we also have crit hit damage for the gloves, as you see. Guys, we're getting crazy amount of damage with negotiators. And the thing about negotiators, it kind of takes some time to get used to playing with, because when I first slapped it on, I have to get used to playing with it. You could kill almost anything that you see, but basically it's best to just shoot 1, shoot 2, shoot 3, or maybe shoot like a drone or like a Wally or like a Snoop Dogg. I'm calling the Warhound Snoop Dogg, because that's what I call them. You basically could shoot multiple things and just focus on the most tankier NPC and then just kill everything around you. So that's the best way to use negotiators. And then we're going to times it up with the Eagle Bearer, guys. You already know how I'm doing with this EB, so I gotta bring this back with negotiators. We gotta hit it for 130k, 0.25k base damage, and that's because of the modifier. You already see 850 RPM, 16 to mag, 30 expertise. And if you don't know what the Eagle Barrel do, we're going to read it right now. Eagle Strike. Accuracy increases as you consistently fire up to 30%. Headshot kills grant the tenacity buff for 15 seconds. The strength of tenacity is increased by 1% for body shots and 5% for headshots. So basically just continue to get them headshots and you're going to be Gucci. And then we're going to get into the last part of it. Tenacity. 40 to 80% of damage is taken delayed until the buff expires. All of the total delayed damage is reduced for each enemy kill while the buff is active for 100% for 3 kills. Like what I previously always say, once you get that tenacity buff, you basically have a double-edged sword where you could be in God mode for a couple of seconds, but all you got to do is just keep chaining them headshots, and you're just going to be in God mode like Roman Reigns.
And you know this, man?
You already know, but if you do not continue to chain them headshots and you take a lot of damage, you're going to hit that checkpoint. You're going to go right to that save file. So it's a double-edged sword, but the reason why I love playing with the EB is because it just works perfectly with health. You know what I'm saying? You could use any other AR if you wanted to. You could let me know. You probably could use St. Emmos because it do give you some shock bullets. I'd rather use the EB, but you could use St. Emmos. You can let me know in the comments if you like it. Shock bullets don't really sound bad. You're just not getting no tenacity, but I would say the St. Emmos is very good when you have like the stats of the weapon and do have high crit damage and crit chance on it. But we're here to talk about the EB. We're not really here to talk too much about the Lexington, which is Big Lexi. I mean, if you want to use another AR, you can, but the Lexington, we got Strain, which is for more critical hit damage on top of negotiators. So come on, it doesn't really matter what you use, you're gonna be hitting crazy when it comes to like your stats. And then we got a shield for the striker shield because this actually comes with the firewall specialization. The reason why we want a striker shield because everybody uses it and it's the best shield to use. And then if you have this shield out in front of you, the striker shield mainly, you basically do more burst damage to any NPC or anybody in front of you. So we went with that, and we went with a tanky defender drone because of the skill efficiency, like I told you, from the modifier. And then we have a free skill tier here to actually get higher skill efficiency. And just the so-called bullets. But if you don't want to use a defender drone, you can use a revolver hive if you go down. Next, let's talk about the stats so we can get into it. Bam, y'all see it. We got 58 crit chance. Like I told you, you want to have a decent amount of crit chance to be close to 60% so you can mark and get those critical hits. And then you got 145 crit damage on top of the 20 to 40, crit damage you're getting from the gear set. So guys, so what? We should be hitting for 185 or very close around that range. All you gotta do is consistently just continue to kill NPCs. And I feel like people don't talk about negotiators as much because it's kind of, again, it's tricky to play. But once you understand how to play that play style, this joint does crazy numbers. But as you see for the stats, 58 crit chance, 145 crit damage. Then we have 53 crit chance right here, and then we have 140 crit damage for Big Lexi if you want to use another AR, and that's also with the underbarrel attachment from the Firewall Specialization. Other than that, guys, this is another Eagle Bearer build that we got in the variant list. If you don't like this one, I know a lot of y'all like to play with different variants. That's why we got that playlist. So if you don't like this Eagle Bearer video, I have a playlist where I'm pretty sure there's going to be one in there for you that you're going to love. And trust me, we're going to take it to another level. But other than that, guys, I appreciate y'all coming to the channel with y'all time. And then, hey, y'all already know I'm gonna bounce back with some more. Trust me, we just getting started. The year just got started, so we're gonna roll out. We're just waiting for some more content to come out for Division, but until then, I'm gonna keep dropping back these build videos for y'all. So if you're new, leave a like. If you're a returning person, leave a comment. If you're a hater, man, you already know my slogan. I'll catch you when I catch you. And hey, stay safe out there, agents. I'll catch y'all in my next build video, guys. Peace.